Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Morgan Danielle. I am back with another video. You guys should make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can never miss a new upload. Today's video is going to be another story time. It's going to be a part 2 to the toxic relationships video I did last year. Just because the story continues on, and I think that again, I'm hurting right now. Like there's a lot of hurt inside right now, and there's a lot of things that I feel like I should get off my chest, but I feel like it was healing to get it off my chest in that video. So I'm hoping that lightning will strike twice and I will not be as emotional as I feel right now. Without further ado, let's get into it. First, first things first, I'm gonna try not to cry in this video, but if I do cry, like just I'll have to either edit it out or like, fast forward or something. In relationships, toxic relationships part 1, I talked about a guy that I met who did some horrific things while we were in a relationship, and at the end of that video, I'm pretty sure the consensus was that I was done with this guy. But I think that at the time, I wasn't as done as I thought I was, and it wasn't as finished as I thought it was. Um, and I really cared about the person. So for me, it was like I had withdrawals without the person. Like, they were addictive like a drug would be. You really care about someone and you want to see someone grow and reach their full potential and live a happy life. And it's hard for me to not understand that sometimes that happiness doesn't involve me. And I don't mean that like I have to be the source of that person's happiness. I mean that I like to be there to witness it. I like to be in that person's life. I like to be there to encourage them when they're down, to be supportive. I like to be that person for everyone. But this particular person, it did not work. But after I made that video, maybe a month later, I got back in touch with the person and we began trying to repatch things, repair things. So where do I start? It didn't take long for this person to become abusive, but more abusive than they had been before. I think that's the difference, is that this time it was amplified. I thought that me and this person were building something, and I thought that I meant something to that person, but their actions repeatedly showed that I meant nothing. This person had me feeling as though we were reworking on things, because initially when I reached out to check on them, they made it seem as though, it was from a friendly standpoint, and so it was like a friendly, like, I want to like rekindle that energy, and at least if we can work on being cool. But this person started wanting to further things. This person started wanting to further things along. They didn't want to just be cool. They wanted to have sex. They wanted to really play with my emotions, so to speak. So me and this person started dating again, and this time the arguments grew fiercer because it seemed like we just never could get on the right page. But this person was threatening to have their family members fight me. They were threatening to fight me. They were saying they would love it if someone beat me up, if someone beat my ass. I was getting called a stuck up bitch for simply having standards. This person, everything had to be about sex. I never met this person and we hung out just to hang out. This person, every time they wanted to hang out with me, they wanted to have sex. That was it. That's all they wanted, was sex for me. That's all I was good for to them, was sex. And I was always being painted out as being obsessive or angry or bitter or jealous. But it was like this person was on social media pretending to be single, liking girls' pictures and shit like that, but then expecting me to feel like I mattered to them. And especially when this person never complimented me. They never was like, you're a beautiful girl, or oh, you're smart, or oh, you're talented, or oh, I like that you're doing this with your life. They were never supportive of me from the get-go, and they were supportive of others. I was like their little hidden secret. It was like they were ashamed and embarrassed that they were dating me. But the thing was that I never asked for you to do that. I never asked for you to want to be with me. I never asked for you to want to have sex with me. I never asked for you to be a down low person trying to hide your business and trying to also make me the scapegoat for your insecurities. But it seemed like that was what it was. And give me a second. It was like we had a moment where I was spending some time with him and we had sex, and I asked him, the question I wanted to know was, do you want to be with me? Straight up. Like, it's okay if you don't, it's okay. You don't have to, you're a free person. You don't have to want anything that you don't want, not, especially if it's not with me. I'd rather know. And this person leans to me and says, I do. So any rational person would think from there on, we're building something. This is something that you want equally as much as I do. Because in that moment, I gave you a chance to be as completely transparent and as honest as you could be, and you dropped the ball. Um, and so this person continued being toxic and continued treating me like shit, like consistently being like I was a bitch and saying that, like, I was. They even tried to question whether or not I was trans. They tried to basically argue that no matter what, I was still. They tried to basically argue that no matter what, I was a nigga. And that, if they beat me up, it would be okay because it was a male on male fight. And that's when I knew that this person was abusive and toxic, and they were as negative as ever. And they were trash in my life. And I still kept trying to hold on to hopes that this person would be better to me. And it got to a point where this person wanted to rekindle things with their ex. And what irritated me about this was that they wanted to rekindle things, but they made it seem as though I shouldn't be worried. As if, oh, I just want to get some closure on the situation, so why are you trying to block me from getting closure? But I knew deep down that's not what they wanted. I knew they had ulterior motives, and I knew what they wanted was to really get back with this person because they didn't feel like I was good enough. And I think that was what hurt me the most, was that the entire time I was with you, for a whole year, we was talking off and on, dating off and on, having sex off and on. You are basically essentially saying I was never good enough to be in a relationship with you. I was never good enough to be with you. I was good enough to be in the shadows. I was good enough to be someone you fucked on a regular. I was good enough to be your little secret. Or you're treating me like I'm not a woman. You're not respecting me as a woman. So yes, that would make you a down low nigga. And like, he really broke me in a sense, like broke my heart, because I loved him. I mean, I really truly did. And I know that I wasn't perfect at times, and I really had some really fucked up moments. And I had moments where I could have been way better, but I would have never done what he did to me to him. And I think that is the difference. There was a level of respect. I wasn't talking to nobody when I was talking to this dude. I was never going to go behind his back and mess with someone else. I wasn't going to lead him on. I think what hurts the most is that you led me on for a year. I was just a placeholder. Do you get what I'm saying? Because now all of a sudden it's the story of, well, I've always been in love with her and she's always been the one. But so why the day that you slid into my DMs, why did you slide into my DMs? So that you could have someone to fuck while you waited on her to come back around? That's what hurts, is that there was never anything genuine from this person. This person was never genuine at all, in no way, shape, or form. They were never genuine with me. And that's what I think makes me not respect them anymore. There's no respect there because you're not a genuine person. And now this person is running around saying, oh, I'm trying to be a positive person. But I'm like, the problem is that you're negative. It's a fake sense of positivity. It's fake. It's fake. It's one thing to say, I'm trying to live a more positive life, but it's another thing to say that, but then be negative behind the scenes. It's like you cannot be a positive person when you treat others a certain type of way, a way that you yourself would never want to be treated. And I think that's what hurts the most, is that it's bittersweet that I really cared about this person and I really put a lot into this person and I really tried to work things out with this person, and they just did not care. Like, I don't feel like there was ever a moment now looking back where this person cared about me. And that stings and it hurts. And this person was completely toxic. And thankfully now we're done. I don't think we'll ever speak again. I don't know if I really want to. I can't say yes or no. I mean, of course, it's still fresh. This happened recently. So a part of me is still like, I have hope that you'll change and that you'll be better, and that maybe one day you can come back around and apologize and really own it. Because he never owned it. Like, even when we were finally saying that we were done with each other, he never owned it. He never said, okay, you know what? Yeah, I did lead you on. Or yeah, I did make you think that it was something that it wasn't. Or yeah, I did fuck up. Or yeah, I did threaten you. Or yeah, I did try to destroy you as a person. I did try to take your soul. I tried to take your dignity. I tried to take your respect for yourself. I tried to take your confidence. I made you insecure. I made you bitter. all because something wasn't right within me. And I don't want to, and it's like, I'm disappointed in myself because I reacted really badly when I found out what was going on. I reacted very badly, but at the same time, it was emotions. Whenever you're hurt by someone that you really love, and it's a deep hurt, and it's a hurt that you don't ever think you can heal from. Of course, your response is going to be magnified because it's different. This is someone I've been having raw sex with. This is someone that I've been trying to be with for a year. This is someone who has lied to my face and said, "Oh, I want to work on being with you," but then completely negated that the moment that they got the person they really wanted back in their life. And that is a shitty way of living your life. And that is a shitty way of being a human being. And I'm not saying that I wish anything bad on this person, but what I am saying is that karma is a bitch, and you reap what you sow. What you do unto others is what will happen to you. So it's like, I hope that somewhere down the line, whenever his karma comes circling full circle, that he realizes that, what, you had a genuine person in your life that genuinely cared about you. I didn't want your money. I didn't want nothing from that person. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to spend time with that one person. I wanted to spend nights at your house. I wanted to drink wine with the person. I wanted to just laugh and talk and play video games and watch anime and things like that, and broaden my horizons, because I wasn't as deeply an anime fan as I wanted to be, but I didn't really know what animes were really good, and every time I got recommendations, it kind of sucked. So yeah, and I wanted to learn from this person, but I feel like this person is a toxic walking person, and I feel sorry for anyone that comes into contact with this person, because they are a leech, and they will suck you and drain your soul for everything that it is, and then they'll move on. That's how they play the game. They take everything that you have under the guise of, I really genuinely love you, I genuinely care about you. But you can't care about a person that you treat like shit. Period. You do not care about a person that you will treat like shit. Not a person that you will dog and lie to. You don't lie and manipulate a person into having sex with you under the idea that y'all are working on a relationship, then to just tell them like, "Oh, this whole time I was in love with someone else. I wanted to be with someone else. I never really wanted you. I just was here for the ride." And then they tried to, and what really hurts me the most is that the last conversation me and that person had before I found all this information out was them literally telling me to my face, like, "Hey, I just need closure on this situation. Once I get closure, like, I can move forward and do things with you the way that I need to." But in reality, it was a setup for them to go be with that person. So the lesson I learned in all of this is to respect myself, you know, to respect myself and to see myself as human and beautiful and worthy. Whether or not he thinks so, whether or not anyone else thinks so, I'm a beautiful ass woman, and I got shit going for myself, and I have dreams and I have goals, and I'm almost there. I'm only 2 years away from getting my bachelor's degree, and I'm a young black woman that grew up in the hood with two parents who never graduated college and have always been working dead-end jobs. So I rose from my circumstances, and I'm following my dreams, and I'm becoming something, and I'm becoming someone. And you know what? Someone one day will appreciate the love that's deep inside of me. And someone will see the worth that's within me. He missed out on that. That's his loss. He could have had a good friend for life that would have always been there for him. I was even thinking about helping this nigga pay bills in his house that I don't live at, that I've never even been to, that he didn't even feel like I was welcome in. But that was just how big my heart was. I was willing to do anything to make sure he was okay. But that love was not the same. There was no love on his end. It was just nothing but using and manipulating and using people up until they can get all that they want from them. And you can never win like that. And honestly, I hope that later on in his future, he realizes that you can't operate life using people and manipulating people and abusing people and threatening to beat people up and threatening to put their hands on people. I just went through a lot, y'all, and I just wanted to pour all my emotions out here where I felt like I was the most comfortable. Um, and that ends the toxic relationships part 2. I'm a little messed up right now, y'all, like deep down. Like, I ain't gonna even front. Like, I'm really hurt. I cried a lot last night about it. And it comes in waves. Sometimes I'm okay for a couple hours, and then I get this urge to like cry ask myself why I wasn't good enough for him, or why I wasn't worthy enough to be his girl, or why he never saw in me what I saw in him. Or I think back to nights when, I was with him, and I was thinking like, wow, this could be the one, this could be my soulmate, and come to find out he's not, and come to find out he didn't feel the same, and come to find out this whole year was just him using me. It was just him taking advantage of me. It was just him using me for whatever he could get from me. And I no longer want to be a convenience to anybody. I don't want to ever be a second option to anybody. So with all that being said, y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm having an okay day. My emotions are okay. I done got a little choked up in this video a few times and almost started to cry. I had to take a minute actually to get a little bit of it out, but I'm gonna do much better, and I have things going for me, and I have other things to focus on and other things that make me happy. So until my next video, I'll see you guys again. Bye.